Get ready for a day that might slip past most people without a glance, but which will quietly change everything beneath the surface. Tomorrow, July 31st, will arrive without fanfare. No eclipses, no sudden cosmic fireworks, no obvious signposts in the sky. Yet, the atmosphere itself will hum with a subtle tension, as if the world is holding its breath. Those who are attuned to these undercurrents have already felt the shift creeping in, a faint vibration rippling through the edges of awareness. This day isn't ordinary, nor is it just another page on the calendar. It quietly marks the inception of something that cannot be undone, a threshold crossed in silence, unseen but profoundly felt. What unfolds now will not burst forth with a dramatic announcement. Instead, it will begin as a delicate spark, almost imperceptible, but powerful enough to ignite an irreversible chain reaction. This is not the seismic breakthrough you might have anticipated or even consciously desired. Rather, it is a force that refuses to be delayed any longer. For those who have been mindful, who have listened closely to the subtle shifts within and around them, this moment places them ahead of the unfolding curve, a step into new territory that's both unfamiliar and deeply necessary. As the day deepens, the energy will intensify in ways that challenge the status quo. It is not a collapse or a breakdown, far from it. Instead, it signals a crossing of a line from which there is no retreat. The momentum of July 31st is relentless. It moves forward without seeking consent. If you find yourself reading these words, chances are this transformative energy is already flowing through your veins. Even before the official turn of the day, you may feel a growing pressure within your body and mind, as if some hidden part of you senses the imminent shift but struggles to articulate it. This sensation arises because you have been carrying something inside that was never meant to be held for so long, something calling out for release. This is not a time for passive reflection or emotional rumination. It is a moment that demands movement, action, and surrender to the unfolding process. The familiar loops you once believed you had the luxury of time to untangle are dissolving. The numbness you've tolerated, whether from fear, avoidance, or exhaustion, was never your destined state. You are not here to remain comfortable or stagnant. You were designed to evolve, to respond, to change. What begins today will likely not deliver immediate clarity or peace. Instead, it might manifest as tension, discomfort, or a tightening within your chest and mind. This is the natural state of energy poised on the edge of transformation. Change rarely arrives with a gentle handshake. It often barges in like a necessary disturbance, uprooting what must be shifted to create space for something new. What emerges will be something you've long postponed, an element of your life or self that can no longer wait in the shadows. From this moment forward, silence and denial will no longer shield you. The restless unease you've been carrying is not merely anxiety or fear. It is ignition, the spark that lights the inner fire of transformation. July 31st flips an internal switch, one that cannot be turned back off. For those sensitive to this current, the experience will not raise questions about its existence, but rather about how deeply it will pull and how far it will lead. This energy is tangible, heavy, and insistent. It doesn't pause for readiness or hesitation. It feels like a weight on your chest, urging you forward with a single message: move. I call this force the signal, not a sound or image, but an undeniable presence beneath the surface of daily life, silently demanding acknowledgement and action. Many will try to categorize this experience with familiar labels: restlessness, irritability, urgency, but it transcends these words. It is the breath held before a great leap, the restless stirring that makes indecision unbearable and procrastination feel like a form of slow sickness. Even silence may come to feel like a betrayal to your own inner truth. This is the signal reaching you, touching your core, reshaping your path. Once it arrives, there is no going back to the version of yourself that tolerated waiting, hesitation, or complacency. This inner fire calls out those who have been hidden, those whose energy has grown too expansive to remain contained. When stillness becomes a heavier burden than movement, awakening begins, not always as a sudden flash of insight, but often as a mounting pressure that cannot be ignored or dismissed. It is the stirring of the soul's deeper purpose, urging you out from the shadows into the light of authentic presence, and forward momentum. This is not the time to hesitate or get lost in endless analysis of your next move. Thursday will arrive as the day that makes standing still feel like an unbearable weight pressing down on your chest. If you've been pretending not to notice the subtle but persistent stirrings inside you, brace yourself, because that quiet pretense is about to become impossible to maintain. From this moment forward, everything around you will respond to what you have tried so hard to conceal, reacting to the authentic energy you can no longer deny. There's a reason why the atmosphere shifts when you enter a room. It's not simply luck or an inexplicable charm. It's the raw force of your energy making its presence known, regardless of whether you consciously want it to. After July 31st, this presence becomes unmistakable, impossible to ignore. It's as if a veil has been lifted, revealing a power within you that had been waiting patiently but fiercely for this very moment to come alive. This day does far more than awaken a single aspect of you. It sets off a chain reaction that extends into everything you touch. When you stop suppressing the restless movement within your soul, your energy refuses to play small anymore. It expands, rippling outward in waves that brush against others with undeniable intensity, even without you uttering a word. Some people will find themselves inexplicably drawn toward you, magnetized by a force they cannot quite articulate. Others will react with discomfort or defensiveness, caught off guard by a sudden electric charge that unsettles their carefully maintained equilibrium. They may not consciously understand it, but deep down their unconscious senses the shift and recoils. There is no need for you to explain or justify this transformation. The changes will speak for themselves. In the subtle shifts of conversations as you walk into a room, in the way people suddenly speak faster or hesitate more, or even open up with a vulnerability they rarely show. These are not random occurrences. This is activation. Your activation, the natural consequence of letting your true energy rise and flow freely. The more you surrender to this movement within, the stronger and more expansive this ripple effect becomes. It will awaken others, stirring those who have been pretending to be asleep, encouraging them to shed their own masks and recognize their own dormant potential. This is not a call to ego or a thirst for attention. It is the powerful, magnetic force of alignment. When you are genuinely aligned with your authentic self and deepest truths, your very presence begins to disrupt old systems and patterns, those that depend on people remaining disconnected, numb, or asleep. Here's where the transformation becomes profound. This shift is less about what you do and more about who you are becoming. The moment you stop denying the changes stirring inside you, a chain reaction ignites. Energy alone can be strong, but truth fully embodied and lived, is unstoppable. From this point on, your journey ceases to be a quiet, private affair. The world will begin to take notice, and the spotlight might not always feel comfortable or welcome. If you suddenly sense that eyes are on you, that you're being watched even when you're alone, trust that you're not imagining it. After July 31st, a peculiar and profound shift starts to unfold. Not necessarily in your external surroundings first, but deep within your inner landscape. You may feel a mounting pressure, a presence beside you that cannot be seen but is undeniably felt. This sensation is not fear, though it may come with a certain tension and intensity. For those wired for awakening on this level, this moment signals the beginning of what can only be described as spiritual visibility. You have always been noticed by higher energies, but now you have lit up like a beacon, vibrating at a frequency that makes you tangibly visible beyond the physical realm. This visibility is not poetic or metaphorical. It is energetic and real. Once you become this visible, you are observed, not just by benevolent forces supporting your growth, but also by energies that resist your forward movement. Some of these forces are ancient, remnants of old conditioning and fear. Others are opportunistic, seeking to divert or distract your path. But as your inner frequency rises, you become trackable in ways most people never will, marking you as a beacon of change and transformation. The truth of this shift is both a gift and a challenge. It calls you to navigate a new level of awareness where your energy is no longer hidden but shines boldly, illuminating the path ahead and revealing the shadows you must move through. Embracing this visibility means stepping into a broader reality where your presence influences not just your own life, but ripples outward, touching the lives of others and challenging the status quo in ways both subtle and profound. This new chapter is about embodying courage, the courage to be seen fully, to allow your energy to ripple outward unapologetically, and to stand firm even when the world watches. It's about recognizing that what once seemed like vulnerability is actually your greatest strength, and that the internal pressure building now is the force that will propel you forward, beyond the limits you once believed defined you. The veil that once separated you from deeper realms, from unseen energies and subtle forces, isn't just thin anymore. It's awake and aware of you. This shift explains why, without any clear reason or logical explanation, you might feel like something is watching you, not through physical eyes, but with a focused, intent attention that seems to linger in the air around you. The energy in your surroundings may carry a new charge. Your home might feel subtly altered, as if it holds a secret pulse. You could catch yourself turning your head toward movements that aren't there or noticing tiny, almost imperceptible sounds when no one else is around to hear them. These sensations are not hallucinations or paranoia. They are signs that your spirit is stepping into a heightened state of awareness, that it's important not to dismiss these feelings or label them as mere coincidence. Spiritual attention often comes wrapped in discomfort. Being elevated in consciousness doesn't guarantee comfort or ease. In fact, it often means being more exposed, more vulnerable to energies both seen and unseen. This is not a flaw or a punishment. It is a natural, energetic side effect of awakening. The more alive your energy becomes, the more resistance you will encounter. This resistance is not a reflection of failure, but an unmistakable indicator that you are finally doing something right. You are shifting, growing, and stepping into a realm of authentic power. As this transformation unfolds, you might feel an urge to pull back from the noise of everyday life. You may find yourself canceling plans, turning off your phone, or choosing solitude over social interaction, not out of fear or avoidance, but as a natural protective response. This isn't isolation born from anxiety. It is your energy recalibrating, seeking stability amid the growing intensity. Because now, you are being watched, not only by benevolent forces that support your evolution, but also by energies that resist your progress. Some watchers empower and uplift you, while others seek to distract or confuse. Regardless, your spirit is no longer asleep, and you are no longer invisible. Your presence has sparked awareness, and this awareness has only just begun. This internal shift will also affect your relationships. People you've known for years may remain unchanged on the surface, but you will sense a difference in them, a subtle shift in their energy. Their words may sound familiar, but beneath the surface, there is a hollowness that wasn't there before. The connection that once felt warm and vibrant may now feel distant, like an echo of what used to be. This gap between energies, the widening space between your evolving frequency and theirs, becomes impossible to ignore. It rarely emerges through conflict or drama, and it's often not about those who have hurt you, but about those who have quietly stopped growing, who have ceased to evolve spiritually. You will feel this difference deeply, though not always in obvious or dramatic ways. There may be no explosive arguments or clear breakups, just moments of silence that feel heavier than before, conversations that leave you with a lingering sense of emptiness. The connections that once nourished your soul now echo faintly, like distant memories. These people aren't bad or wrong. They are simply stagnant in their growth. Their spirits have paused, while yours continue to expand and move forward. Your energy can sense this, and it reacts naturally. You won't need to judge these people or their journeys, but you won't be able to ignore how your body responds to their presence. You may notice a heaviness settling in your gut when they speak, a mental fog that clouds your clarity, or a quiet grief as you realize that what once felt meaningful now feels muted and distant. This experience is not about superiority or condemnation. It's about vibration and resonance. Crossing into a new frequency that demands movement and growth naturally makes anything stagnant feel burdensome. This is why these soul separations often unfold quietly and gradually, without fanfare or confrontation. But once they occur, they are irreversible. You may find yourself noticing people drifting away, plans that never quite materialize, messages left unanswered. There will be a strong pull to reach out, to mend the gaps, to reconnect with what once was. You'll want to restore the old harmony, to make things work again. But deep within, you'll understand that this isn't rejection, it's redirection. Your energy no longer fits within those old patterns, and trying to force them will only drain your vitality. This is not about cutting ties out of anger or resentment. It's about honoring the natural evolution of your spirit. The truth is, once your energy rises to a new frequency, it doesn't just transform you. It changes what you can hold, what you attract, and what you're willing to tolerate. Some connections, no matter how cherished or familiar, simply won't match your new vibration anymore. You're not meant to drag old, stagnant energy into a timeline that is meant to be vibrant and alive. The people who begin to fade from your life often won't even realize it themselves. Their spirit may have quietly checked out long before their words or smiles reveal it. They may still show up, ask how you're doing, and maintain appearances, but the essence behind their presence has shifted. Deep down, you'll sense it. They've already exited your story, even if the scenes haven't fully caught up with the change. This realization can bring a mixture of sorrow and liberation. It's a profound moment of clarity when you acknowledge that your path is diverging from familiar faces and places, not out of malice or failure, but because your soul is calling you towards something greater. It's an invitation to embrace the new and release what no longer serves your growth. This journey is both deeply personal and universally shared among those awakening to their true potential. As you navigate this transition, trust in the subtle wisdom of your body and spirit. Honor the protective instincts that guide you to seek solitude and stillness. Allow yourself the space to recalibrate and integrate the profound shifts taking place. Know that this process is necessary, even when it feels isolating or confusing. In the unfolding chapters ahead, you will find new connections, ones that resonate with your rising frequency and support your continued evolution. You will encounter souls who reflect your authenticity and inspire your growth. These relationships will feel alive, dynamic, and nourishing because they are rooted in mutual expansion and shared awakening. Remember, the awakening of your energy is a sacred process. It is not always comfortable, but it is essential. It calls you to honor your truth, to embrace change with courage, and to step fully into the radiant, evolving being you are becoming. The veil may be thin, but now it is awake, and so are you. Spiritual separation rarely announces itself with grand gestures or loud farewells. More often, it slips quietly into the spaces between conversations, in the silence where once there was connection. It's a subtle shift, a fading of energy that no longer resonates with the frequency you've begun to embody. After July 31st, this silent unraveling becomes unmistakable. You'll notice it in the way some relationships no longer respond to your presence or efforts, no matter how much you try to revive what is naturally dissipated. It's a sign that your spirit is moving forward with clarity and precision, and not everyone will be able to keep pace. This isn't about blame or loss. It's about evolution, an inevitable and necessary part of your journey toward greater authenticity. Just as you start settling into your newfound rhythm, feeling aligned and centered, something unexpected might surge to the surface. It might arrive as a fleeting thought or a sudden emotional reaction, a version of yourself you thought was long gone, pounding insistently at the door of your consciousness. These old shadows won't sneak in gently. Instead, they'll break through with surprising force. In the hours and days that follow, don't be alarmed if memories, feelings, or patterns from the past rise up without clear cause. You may find yourself irritated by things you believed no longer affected you, or even gripped by jealousy or insecurity that feels out of place in your current reality. These impulses often rush like sparks, urging you to say something, defend yourself, or seek validation. But these moments don't signal regression or failure. They mark a critical threshold, an edge of transformation where your old patterns recognize their waning influence and make one last desperate attempt to cling to control. This flare-up is their final roar before surrender. It's important to understand that these reactions aren't the truth of who you are now. They're remnants of a past self, echoes of conditioning and fears that no longer serve your evolution. You don't need to resist or suppress these flashes of your shadow self. Instead, observe them with compassionate curiosity. These feelings are leftover noise, fragments of a version of you that thrived under old limitations, one that sought approval, overanalyzed every detail, compared itself to others, and engaged in self-sabotage. That version existed only in the glow of your former light, which is now fading. The spotlight that once illuminated those insecurities is being switched off, making way for a new kind of presence. When these familiar urges or emotional echoes appear, meet them without panic or overthinking. Witness them as you would watch a flame burning down to its last flicker, loud and bright at the end, then quietly extinguished. You are not slipping backward. You are being shown what you have outgrown. This is not a defeat, but an invitation to release what no longer aligns with your true path. The story of that former self has come to a close, and its role has been retired. That character no longer holds space in your unfolding narrative. Allow these old energies to fade naturally, to dissolve like the fragile shells they have always been. Because stepping forward now is something entirely new and unapologetic. It does not have the luxury of negotiating with the past. What begins on July 31st is not just another phase of transformation. It is a profound focusing, a quiet yet seismic shift that is irrevocable. This change will not announce itself with fanfare or spectacle, but its impact will be lasting and definitive. Your third eye, the seed of inner knowing that has long observed, sensed, and absorbed the subtleties of your experience, now makes a crucial decision. It chooses not merely to remain open, but to sharpen with unwavering clarity. This clarity transcends mystical visions or rare insights. It grounds itself in an unshakable certainty. Even when others around you act as if they cannot perceive the truth you hold, and even when your own mind attempts to second-guess or doubt, this part of you stands firm. From this point forward, clarity will no longer be an occasional gift, but your default state. Your intuition will cease to require external validation. The inner pull guiding your choices will no longer be obscured by confusion or hesitation. The endless spiral of doubt and what-ifs will begin to slow and eventually fall away. In its place will arise something far more potent: certainty. This certainty empowers you to move forward decisively, without looking back or waiting for permission. As your awareness transitions from passive observation to active engagement, the way you navigate the world will transform. You will no longer feel compelled to justify your choices or explain your truths to those who cannot comprehend them. The futile attempts to decode mixed signals will cease, replaced by confident action based on your inner knowing. This evolution may bring intensity, moments when your discernment sharpens so keenly that you instinctively recognize who to walk away from, which opportunities are misaligned, and where dishonesty lurks, even if it's cloaked in warmth and smiles. Most profoundly, you will come to sense what must end in your life, even before your heart fully embraces it. The power lies not just in seeing these truths, but in consciously choosing how to respond. July 31st marks the moment when that power crystallizes. It does not demand attention with noise or spectacle, but rather asserts itself with steady, unwavering force. And this time, unlike before, you will not question it. You will simply move forward, clear, certain, and aligned. Not everyone will grasp the subtlety of your transformation. Some will feel unsettled or even threatened by the quiet strength you now carry. Your silence, once overlooked or misunderstood, may suddenly seem heavy or distant to those still navigating their own doubts and fears. But it's important to remember that your evolution isn't about making others comfortable. It's about honoring the integrity of your own journey. You will find yourself speaking less, not out of detachment, but because the external noise no longer holds the same power or importance. Your focus turns inward, refining your energy and reserving your voice for moments that truly matter. Everything around you, your environment, your relationships, even your own internal world, is under a new level of scrutiny, both from yourself and the subtle energies at play. Your silence is no longer empty. It carries weight and meaning that others can sense, even if they don't fully understand. When you do choose to speak, your words will resonate far beyond the moment. becoming the very blueprint for what unfolds next. The day of July 31st will bring a pivotal moment that quietly alters your course. It might emerge in an unexpected conversation, a message you feel compelled to send, or a truth you've been holding close but are now ready to release. This moment will build within you like a slow-burning heat, a pressure that demands expression and refuses to be ignored. You will face a profound choice: to speak your truth or to remain silent. While it might seem like a simple decision, it is in fact a turning point of immense consequence. This moment isn't just about expressing yourself. It's about energetically architecting your future. The decision you make will ripple out, influencing the trajectory of your life in ways you cannot yet perceive. Words spoken from a place of authenticity will unlock pathways and thaw what has been stuck. Conversely, withholding your truth or speaking from a place of compromise will create energetic friction, sow confusion, and block progress, not as punishment, but as natural consequence. Your output must match your inner evolution, or the universe will respond with misalignment. This is not a time for loud declarations or dramatic gestures. Instead, it's a day for precision, clarity, and deep intention. Every word you utter acts like a key, opening certain doors while firmly closing others. Before you speak, take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you expressing what your soul genuinely knows, or are you softening your message to keep the peace, to avoid discomfort, to stay safe? Diluting your truth will dim your light in subtle but undeniable ways. That tightness you feel in your chest or the lump in your throat isn't anxiety. It's your intuition signaling resistance to silence. It's your authentic self urging you to break through and be heard. When you finally choose to speak from this place of clarity and conviction, something shifts profoundly. Your voice gains a new power and resonance. Those who are meant to walk beside you will be drawn in, leaning closer to listen. Those who are no longer aligned will gradually step back, leaving space for the new. Suddenly, the path beneath your feet begins to realign with the truth you have dared to share, transforming obstacles into signposts and detours into destinations. And yes, something will go wrong. Not catastrophically, but in ways that disrupt your plans, unexpected cancellations, delays, or changes that throw off your rhythm. What may feel like resistance or setbacks is, in truth, a form of divine placement. You're being gently steered away from a timeline that no longer serves you and toward one that's meant for your next phase of growth. These disruptions aren't punishments or obstacles. They're openings disguised as inconveniences, invitations to trust the unseen flow. The path forward may feel confusing or even frustrating at times, but this is where the hidden door appears, not through grand revelation, but through small, seemingly insignificant moments. You'll be called to trust what feels strange, to embrace detours, and to surrender control over your agenda. This surrender isn't defeat. It's the necessary step that allows new possibilities to emerge, possibilities you couldn't have planned for or anticipated. That if you open yourself to this flow, you may find yourself in unfamiliar places, encountering unexpected people, or hearing truths that resonate deeply without warning. It's often these unplanned shifts that catalyze the most profound breakthroughs. So resist the urge to cling tightly or force everything back into familiar shapes. What breaks on this day is not loss. It's the clearing away of space for alignment, for authenticity, for a truer version of your journey to unfold. You are not falling behind or losing ground. Instead, you are being held in a sacred pause, hidden, perhaps, but precisely timed for your next step to emerge fully formed. When you look back, if you choose to pay attention, you'll recognize that what seemed like disruption was actually your compass, guiding you exactly where you need to be. This is the subtle, powerful alchemy of transformation that July 31st ushers in. Quiet, unassuming, yet irrevocably profound that you're standing in a rare and fragile moment. A quiet threshold between what once was and what is beginning to emerge. This is no ordinary space. It's the final, hushed pause before an old reality gently begins to dissolve, not with a thunderclap or a blaze of fireworks, but with the quiet hum of an ordinary day that carries extraordinary weight beneath its surface. Thursday, July 31st, will arrive like any other day, perhaps even unremarkable at first glance, but it holds within it the subtle, seismic shift that marks the closing chapter of one timeline and the first breath of something entirely new. What makes this day so uniquely potent and for many, so elusive, is precisely this paradox. It cloaks its immense power in stillness. It doesn't announce itself with drama or spectacle. There are no visible markers, no clear signposts. The shift arrives as a whisper, a barely perceptible vibration beneath the surface of your everyday life. For those who remain unaware, it slips by unnoticed, leaving them anchored in familiar patterns that are quietly eroding beneath their feet. But for the awakened, those who have been tuning their inner frequency, who have been patiently listening and feeling, the day resonates deeply, reverberating through their being in ways that cannot be ignored. In this stillness, the old world begins to loosen its grip. The structures, relationships, and patterns that once formed the foundation of your reality start to subtly unravel, not in chaos, but in a gentle, inevitable unraveling. You may notice the people around you feel different, perhaps less present, or moving through interactions with a slight disconnect, like a song playing out of sync. Conversations that once flowed easily now seem to lag, as if everyone is catching up to a beat you've already left behind. The familiar spaces you called home might suddenly carry an odd echo, a sense of absence or emptiness that cannot be filled. It's not that anything has gone wrong. Far from it. It's that your nervous system has finally received the message it was waiting for. The world you knew no longer fits. You are becoming someone new. And this transformation means that the emotional language, the rhythms, and the energies of the old earth are fading beneath your feet. It's a subtle, often disorienting process because the shift doesn't hit you all at once. Instead, it unfolds gradually, like the slow dawning of a new season within your soul. You might walk past someone who once felt like a safe harbor and find the familiar warmth gone, replaced by a strange neutrality. Songs that once stirred something deep within you might now sound hollow or artificial. This isn't burnout or apathy. It's something far more profound, an energetic recalibration. Your spirit is shedding old frequencies that no longer resonate with who you are becoming. What you're experiencing is a disconnection from the familiar frameworks that shaped your identity and perception, and a reconnection to a vaster, more expansive source of awareness. This process can leave you feeling distant, dreamy, or even melancholic without clear cause. It's not a grief for something lost, but a mourning of an energetic frequency you have already stepped beyond. It's a subtle but palpable sense of leaving behind an old chapter before the new one fully reveals itself. The world you thought you knew feels simultaneously near and impossibly far away, and the in-between space can feel lonely and isolating. But here's the truth. What you're feeling is the sign of profound growth. It is the subtle vibration of an inner awakening that precedes the full blossoming of your next stage. The old no longer serves you, and the new is still forming beneath the surface. This liminal space, the space between worlds, is sacred and necessary. It's where the seeds of transformation germinate in silence before sprouting into new life. Your nervous system, your heart, and your soul are all recalibrating to a higher frequency, one that demands greater alignment, authenticity, and expansion. If you're still here, if you're still reading, still sensing, still attuned to these changes, know this: your presence matters more than you realize. You are part of a subtle but powerful current of evolution that's moving quietly beneath the surface of collective consciousness. Your awareness and your willingness to witness these shifts are acts of profound courage and grace. They ripple outward in ways you can't always see, touching others who are also awakening, creating a web of energy that supports the emergence of a new world. You might find it helpful to take time now, more than ever, to nurture and protect your energy. This shift can be disorienting, and your system needs space to adjust. Prioritize rest, solitude, and gentle self-care. Allow yourself to feel whatever arises without judgment, whether it's excitement, sadness, confusion, or a deep sense of anticipation. Each emotion is a signal, a guidepost pointing you toward the parts of yourself that need attention and integration. Be patient with yourself as you navigate this inner landscape. As the days and weeks unfold after July 31st, pay close attention to the subtle changes within and around you. Notice how your interactions evolve, how your sense of time shifts, how your intuition speaks more clearly, and how your boundaries naturally become stronger. You may find that certain relationships no longer feel nourishing or authentic. This is natural. The recalibration you're undergoing demands greater alignment with your true self, and that often means letting go of connections that keep you tethered to the past. Remember that these shifts aren't linear or predictable. Sometimes you'll feel a surge of clarity and confidence, and other times confusion and vulnerability. Both are essential parts of the process. The key is to remain anchored in your own truth and to trust the unfolding journey, even when the path ahead is unclear. If you feel called to share what you're experiencing, know that doing so can be a powerful act of healing and connection. Finding others who resonate with your experience can provide support and validation, reminding you that you are not alone in this transformation. And if you seek more insight or guidance, don't hesitate to reach out or explore resources that honor and support your awakening. Above all, hold space for the mystery of what's coming next. This moment of transition may not come with fanfare, but it carries the quiet power of a new dawn. The old world is fading, yes, but it's making way for something more aligned, more expansive, and more true. Trust that the shift already knows where you're going. Even if you don't yet see the full picture as you move forward, carry this awareness gently but firmly within you. You are not alone. You are part of a vast, unfolding process that transcends time and space. The reality you are stepping into is one that reflects your highest potential and deepest truth. The journey may be challenging, but it is also rich with possibility, transformation, and profound awakening. So take a deep breath, ground yourself in the present moment, and let the shift come. It is already happening, within you, around you, and through you. And when you look back one day, you will see how this quiet, ordinary day became the hinge on which your entire life turned.